Alright, so you're going to want to start by plugging your sink and then filling it a little bit of the way with cool water. And then I'm taking a rubber trivet. I got this at Target for $3. And it has circular texture to it, so when you rub your brushes across it, the texture really makes sure that each and every bristle gets cleaned thoroughly. So you can use a bar of Dove soap. The Dove soap has moisturizer in it, so it's hydrating for your brushes. But I actually prefer to use dish soap instead. I just find that it is more effective at removing all traces of makeup. So the 7th generation brand is natural, it's hypoallergenic, it's good for the environment, but it does have sodium lauryl sulfate in it, which is what causes it to suds. And that ingredient can just clog your pores, so you want to make sure you rinse your brushes really thoroughly if you are using this product. So I just apply a pea-size amount onto the trivet. I dampen my dirty brush, and then I just start swirling it along on the pad. You can see how much it's starting to suds. This brush is usually a lot dirtier, but I just washed it the other day, so that's why it looks like nothing's coming off of it. But then you're just going to want to rinse all the soap out under cool water. And I don't like to have the water on high or leave it on because I try to conserve water, so that's really important to mention as well. So then I'm just going to kind of squeeze out some of the water and then just set it aside for the moment so I can show you how I clean a couple other brushes. So the next one I'm going to be cleaning is my favorite Real Techniques brush. It's a blush brush and I use it all the time for bronzer. So this one gets quite dirty. So again, I just get it really sudsy and then I rinse it under cool water. And then I'm going to take an eyeshadow brush so you guys can see how I do this. Again, a pea-sized amount, and I just swirl the brush onto the pad and then rinse. To dry these, I just swipe them on a towel in up and down motions. If you swipe in circular motions, you risk tangling your bristles, so you don't want to do that. So now I'm going to tackle the rest of them. Alrighty, now it's time for my eyeshadow brushes. I have a little different technique for this just to make it go faster. I put a pea-sized amount on the trivet and then I start swirling each brush into it without rinsing them. I just get them all clean and then set them to the side, and then I go ahead and I rinse them all together at the end. It just kind of eliminates the swirl, rinse process. You just kind of knock out each thing at once. You can do this technique too with your facial brushes. I just like to be a little more thorough with those if I have the time. So when you're using really dense, tiny brushes like an eyeliner brush or an eyebrow brush, you don't want to have the trivet above the water when you're swiping the brush across it because it will flick makeup and water at you. So it's better to submerge the trivet and swipe the brush on it while it's under the water. With the eyeliner brushes, like for me, my gel liner really sticks to the brush, so I have to use an extra bit of dish soap on it, and you can see how much product comes off. And then I'll just go ahead and submerge the trivet and wipe it along there under the water. So that's just a little trick so you don't end up spattering yourself with dirty makeup water. So now moving on to my beauty blender. I'm going to do the same process. You can swipe this against the trivet, it won't damage the sponge. Just make sure you're gentle about it. Most of cleaning the beauty blender is going to be just squeezing and wringing and making sure you're moving the product all the way through the sponge to get out all of the makeup, and then rinsing it really thoroughly to make sure all of the soap is out. I have some pretty permanent stains on my sponge, and I think once it gets to a point where the majority of your sponge is permanently stained, that's when you should just go out and get yourself a new one. Okay, and then the final step is just taking some rubbing alcohol and wiping down the handles of your brushes. I typically would use paper towel, but I was lazy and didn't have any near me and didn't want to get any. So I just used a Kleenex, but you just do this to remove any makeup or bacteria that is on your brush handles. So this is the end of my tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bombs light up the sky.